What's up YouTube, this is GroudonEmpire and I am back for another episode of my Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Rating Battle Spot Singles Laddering Series. And right now I am still doing my mini-series that I'm covering every single Mega Evolution that has been introduced in ORAS except for the Mega Latios and Salamence. Again, unless you guys let me know you really want to see me use Ments or Latios and Latias. If you don't care about that, then whatever, I'm just going to cover every other new ORAS Mega except for those guys. And currently today I'm going to be covering Mega Sceptile, if it wasn't obvious by the team already. As is the case for all of my Mega Evolution team videos, I have part 1, part 2, and part 3. 3 videos that I use the same exact team for a minimum of 6 games. Alright? So as is the case with all of my part 1s, I do a brief team summary at the beginning in part 1. And after that, I usually have 1 game or 2 games, depending on how I'm feeling. And in part 2 and part 3, I only have games trying to finish up at least 6. Now, if you're interested in other Mega Evolutions that I may have covered already, or just for other content, then check out the playlist in the link. Link is in the playlist, which is in the description. Link is in the description. Also, if you're interested in my series where I got to 1917 in Pokemon X and Y before ORAS was released, there's a playlist for that as well, also in the description. And without further ado, let's get started with the team summary. Again, if you want to skip team summary, just skip ahead a few minutes. If you're interested in the team summary, stay right now. So this is a Mega Sceptile team, and as you know, Sceptile has always been a really fast Pokemon, alright? Mega Sceptile basically gets a buff in speed and special attack and some attack as well, if not a lot of attack. I don't know the exact stats off the top of my head, but he definitely gets that offensive boost, right? So he's really, really fast. He's as fast as Mega Beedrill. Of course, Mega Beedrill got the best Mega Evolution out of all the Pokemon. Not because of my favorite, but because of the way that it was dealt. Because he had no stats, no ability, and the way the Mega Evolution changed it, it's just amazing. But anyway, enough of Beedrill. Let's talk about Sceptile here. So Mega Sceptile is powerful, becomes an Ice Dragon. Now it's 4 times weak to Ice Shard and other Ice moves. But Ice Shard is the only relevant one because, well, it's a priority. And he's still not all that bulky, so Ice Shard is a pain. And he has the ability Lightning Rod, which is also really not all that important on a Pokemon that 4 times resists lightning, electricity. But I guess it's maybe usable. In doubles it would be more usable, but in singles it's really not all that. Mega Sceptile has the power to destroy things with Leaf Storm, and super effective moves usually like Dragon Pulse destroy all Pokemon that are affected by that, and Focus Blast is a powerful coverage move to destroy Ferrothorns and other Pokemon that are weak to Focus Blast, but it is inaccurate, so 70% accuracy is a huge risk, so I'll only use it if I have to. And then my last move is Giga Drain, because if I'm not going to use Leaf Storm, I want to make sure to, use Giga Drain on Pokemon that aren't too bulky. So if I can 2-hit KO a Pokemon that I can't 1-hit KO with Leaf Storm with Giga Drain, I'll do that. And also I get recovery. So if the Pokemon is weak to Grass and I can 1-hit KO it anyway, then I'll do that with Giga Drain because I get recovery. So that's why I have Giga Drain and Leaf Storm on my Mega Sceptile. And it's timid nature, maximum speed. Again, the same reason as is the case with Mega Beedrill, because it's just as fast, and I just want to be as fast as anything, because I'm not bulky, so might as well make use of all my speed, because being modest nature isn't particularly interesting either. All right, so as for teammates, first order of business for a teammate would have to be Magnezone, because, well, I'll be honest with you guys right now. When I first made this team, I thought that Aegislash would be trapped by Magnezone, and I'd be able to do damage to it. And then I found out that is not the case at all, because ghost types are immune to trap. Regardless, I still have a Magnezone on this team. I spent time to make this team. I'm not going to just throw this team away. So I have a Magnezone on this team for that, but it is a Scarf Magnezone. Timid nature, so it can outspeed Talonflames. So I don't have a Zapdos on this team, as you can see, but what I can do is I can switch into Magnezone to take a Brave Bird, 4 times resisted from Talonflame, and then what I can do afterwards is I can just kill it off with a Volt Switch or Thunderbolt, whatever I want to do. Alright, so that's what I do when I'm using Magnezone. And I can also trap Steel types like Ferrothorn. You know, it's a much more reliable way to kill off Ferrothorn. And also Scizor, but then Scizor has U-turn, so that's an issue. So we don't really go into that for that reason. But anyway, it's useful for that. And also Mawile, because again, Mawile, and also what's that thing? Skarmory. So basically Steel types, because Sceptile does not want to deal with missing Focus Blast versus them, alright? Unless it's like a Heatran, it does not want to deal with missing Focus Blast. And Magnezone does a good job with all of them, most of them. Now, after that, you know, I have an Azumarill. Why do I have Azumarill on the team? Azumarill is just my secondary offensive Pokemon. You always need to have that second punch, offensive punch, and Azumarill does that, you know, especially versus the likes of Blaziken. It's extremely good, and also walls Hydreigon. Hydreigon is a serious issue as well, and it walls Hydreigon, so that's awesome. And if I can ever get a chance to set up a Belly Drum, oh, I do massive. I can probably sweep entire teams. So it is my setup sweeper for this team versus Porygon 2s and Cresselias, depending on the matchup, of course. And as you can also see, I have a Raikou for the same exact reason, to set up on Raikous and to set up on Cresselias and Venusaurs and some other Pokemon. Yes, especially Venusaur and some other Pokemon. I forgot that name. Porygon 2 and stuff. But yeah, Magnezone can also come in on a Venusaur and deal with that. So it's actually really good in that regard. That's how I deal with all these different things. Now, there are a few Pokemon that do give us problems. And as I said, Kangaskhan is actually one of those Pokemon. And I do have a Talonflame for the priority. So after, if I cannot kill off a Kangaskhan, then Talonflame always cleans up. Priority is priority no matter what metagame it is. That's why Talonflame is one of the best normal Pokemon. And so used. And so much hated because of that. But don't. And also, it forms a really nice Volt Switch core with Magnezone. So that's really nice. It's the same banded Talonflame that I've used on all my teams except so far that you've seen. It's not on all of my teams, but on all the teams that you've seen a Talonflame, except for one of those teams. I think it was a Mega Pidgeot team that I used a Sharp Beak Talonflame, but for every other team that I actually used Talonflame, I used Choice Banded Talonflame so far. And so that's the deal with this Talonflame. And probably does other things that I can't think of at the moment. It's alright. As I battle, if it's important, you'll end up seeing what's up. And then I have a Garchomp who is my rock setter, because things like Breloom and Sash Garchomp and all these other things, you know, I need to break them up, you know, with the rocks. So that's why rocks is important. And you can also function as a late game cleaner if I ever need that. So that's awesome. And I think that's enough for this team summary thingy. And we're just gonna press challenge and start looking for an opponent. So currently I'm at 1627. And our record is barely over 50%, really. It's whatever. I don't really care for my record right now. You know, if I was at 60% plus after 100 games, that would mean I'm in top 10. Ooh, we found somebody from the United States. Let's go. Let's go, person. All right, so they have someone. Okay, they have a Mandibuzz. I hate Mandibuzz. I hate Mandibuzz so much. I really feel like starting off with a Chomp. Oh god. Yeah, on my team, Gliscor is actually a serious issue because I don't really have a way to deal with that. So it's actually a serious issue. I do feel like starting off with the Magnez. No, do I want to start off with Magnezone? I don't think that's a good idea. You know what? I want to start off with the Magnezone. Like if he starts off with, I don't know, if he starts off with like what's that Pokemon, with the Sylveon, then I'm gonna just go for a Flash Cannon and kill it off. And if he switches out, well, that's nice. I'm gonna switch into my appropriate. So the Pokemon I would have to switch out into would have to be something like my Sceptile, because Sceptile can definitely deal with the it's probably my only way of dealing with that Gliscor. So Sceptile is definitely going to make an appearance. It can deal with Azumarill. It can deal sorta with with the Lucy. I don't know what that bird's name is. Oh yeah, Mandibuzz. I call it Lucy because it looks like Lucy Heartfilia, not Lucy Heartfilia. The Atlas version of Lucy from Fairy Tail. Sceptile is fast. It can deal with a lot of those things. I need Magnezone to deal with the Sylveon. And for my last Pokemon, I want to have Garchomp because it deals really well with the Kangaskhan. And I might need something for that Kangaskhan to switch into. Alright? So that's why I'm going to have that. And so that's my team. Magnezone, Sceptile, and Garchomp. Those two fairies will be serious trouble to me, but ain't the end of the world, it's alright. So Magnezone, Sceptile, and Garchomp. Sceptile will get a chance to shine in the first game, so we'll see what happens. Usually I don't actually use the Mega that the team is based on in the first video. Most of the time, or some of the time, or half of the time. I don't know, I feel like it's most of the time, but it's probably not. Start off with the Magnezone, and right from the get-go, I'm just going to switch out into my Garchomp because I want this thing to get, not Stealth Rock, man. I want this thing to get Rocky Helmet damage. Not Rocky Helmet, man. Rough Skin damage. Does he have any Earthquake immunities? He had an Azumarill, he has Sylveon, he has a Kangaskhan, he has a... What else does he have? He has a Gliscor. What else does he have? I don't remember what he has. He's going to use Fake Out, that's nice. He's gonna get rough skin damage ×2, so that's nice. And what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna go for an Outrage because I just wanna go out with the bang because I don't really need rocks. Who are his Pokemon though? Gliscor, Kangaskhan, Sylveon, Azumarill. What else was on his team? I'm trying to remember here. I seriously can't remember what he had. Yes, he had a Mandibuzz and he had one more Pokemon. I don't remember what Pokemon it was though. I really don't know. He had a Gliscor, Mandibuzz, the two fairies, Kangaskhan, and something else. Whatever though, I'm gonna use Outrage. I hope he doesn't switch out into Mandibuzz, and he doesn't switch out into Mandibuzz, so luckily for me he doesn't do that. And I go for my powerful Outrage, which doesn't kill it, but he's gonna kill himself with the return. For you guys wondering, why did I not go into... And he kills me with the return. That's a perfect scenario, so now he doesn't have a free chance to set up Belly Drum with his Azumarill. The reason I went for an Outrage is because if he switches out into a Fairy, then that Fairy is going to make me... I'm not going to continue with Outrage. I'm just going to stop. So my Rampage stops right away. And that's actually sick. That's actually super sick. That's actually amazingly sick. I'm scared that he might have Gliscor, but if he had Gliscor, I'm pretty sure he would have went into Gliscor. So I am going to go out into my Magnezone because I feel like that's the smartest thing to do. If he does have a Gliscor, however, I'm in trouble. He has a Okay, alright, I see what's cracking here. So he does have a Gliscor. This is serious trouble for me. I am just going to switch out into Sceptile here. I really didn't think he was going to go out into Gliscor because I think it would have been smarter for him to actually go out into Gliscor last turn instead of killing off his Kangaskhan or coming in on a predicted Earthquake and do some damage. That's actually extremely strange. That's not a good play on my opponent's part, I can tell you that much. Anyways, right now I am going to Mega Evolve and I feel like going for a Giga Drain. Because why not? What's stopping me from going for a Giga Drain? I'm going to Mega Evolve. We're going to see this powerful, sleek, super cool looking, beautiful, gorgeous gecko. Check it out. A lot of people, they talk about this dragon, this Christmas tree basically. But I'm not going to talk about it like that because I have more respect for my little thing right here. And next turn, I'm going to use Giga Drain. And then the turn after that, I'm going to use Leaf Storm because I want this thing to die. Like, it absolutely needs to go. Like, seriously, it needs to go. I'm going to use Giga Drain right now. And then I'm going to use Leaf Storm next turn. And I think Leaf Storm kills. I hope Leaf Storm kills. Because it does, like... almost like ×2 of the damage. I have to do a calc for this. I gotta make sure I'm making the best move that I can possibly make. Because, yo, if Sceptile goes down, I'm in a whole ton of trouble. A whole ton of trouble. It is not even funny how much trouble I would be in. I'm going to do a calculator, so Gliscor, it's probably physically defensive because that's how each one of them are. I have Leaf Storm, so I have to calc Leaf Storm, not the other moves, because I know I have the other moves that's on this damage calc thing right here. Leaf Storm does a gigantic amount of damage, so I am going to go for a Leaf Storm. It is my safest play. Well, yeah, it's my safest play. And I go for a Leaf Storm, and I land. Yo, check it. Check it out. Check the animation out. Sceptile, you're so powerful. Sceptile is so freaking cool. Sceptile was actually, fun fact, Trico was my first ever Ruby and Sapphire Pokemon, so it's actually sick. And yo, look at the way this guy just stares at it like that. It's just, it gives no craps whatsoever. My last Pokemon is a Scarf Magnezone. So what I will do right now is I will just use Leaf Storm, trying to kill this thing, because if it's Assault Vested, and we use Leaf Storm again. And Sceptile's probably going to go down. But it doesn't. So I'm going to use Leaf Storm again, because why the hell not? And we land a third Leaf Storm. How much damage is this one going to do? It actually KOs. So I seriously think, actually, I don't know if that, yeah, that's definitely an Assault Vested Azumarill, because there's no way that a non-Citrus Berry variant would just be standing in front of our eyes just like that, just all happy and jolly and whatnot. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this episode, part 1. This is only part 1, you know, and Mega Sceptile's putting work right from the get-go. You know, part 2 and part 3 are definitely going to be up on the same day, so check those out, and check out the rest of the content on the channel, and especially this series if you're interested in this. Check out the playlist in the description, and also if you're interested in my journey to 1917 and X and Y battle spot, that's also in the description, so check those playlists out. Remember to leave a like on this video if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you were hyped for the channel, the content that's going to be uploaded onto this channel. This was GroudonEmpire. Peace out.